Just bear with me, please. Okay, so I should be live now. Welcome to my live. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of February, 2026. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, UK time. And I'm a therapist and coach. And I come here on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays to take questions and talk about anything to do with therapy, mental health, mindset, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, spirituality, psychology, and human behavior. So if there's anything you'd like to ask me, I should stay here a couple of hours. I do my best to come here from 6 to 8 every Wednesdays and Fridays. And so I'm going to get started the way I always start my live streams, by reading and commenting on my own post. I am both on YouTube and TikTok. And recently I had quite a lot of views on Instagram. So I may spend some time there as well. Who knows? Anyway, every day I post 3 short videos. Every week I post 1 long form video. I did it today on YouTube. And the one that I put out today is called The Psychology of Pranks. And on the thumbnail it says, pranks are a form of very low emotional intelligence. So I'm explaining some aspects of toxic humor, if you wish. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And I come live twice a week. And so let's get started. The first post I'm going to read goes like this. If someone tells you, I am sorry you feel this way, tell them, don't feel sorry for how I feel. My feelings are my business. Your business is to feel sorry for what you've said. So basically, this is to get people to take accountability for their words and actions. When people say, I'm sorry that you feel this way, this is what we call gaslighting. It's essentially saying, the problem is you. You are too sensitive. There's something wrong about you. And you know, it's not my fault. Whereas if they say, I'm sorry that I said something to hurt you, it means that they are taking accountability. Saying sorry doesn't mean... The main thing about apologies is that it's all about emotions. It's not about what is right or wrong. When we say sorry, it's not saying I was wrong, you're right. It's saying I care about how you feel. And I want you to know that I'm doing my best to never hurt you again. That's what it means. So something to be aware of. Don't take half-cooked apologies. Call people out and tell them, don't feel sorry for how I feel. Feel sorry for what you said. And that changes everything. If they resist that, then there could be another problem. Maybe something to do with their personality, and maybe they're not the best people for you to have in your life. Next post goes like this. People in your life impact your health. You don't need more friends. You need better friends. And if you can't have both, always choose quality over quantity. And so this is also, again, to highlight that we need people. We are people. We live in a society full of people, and we're designed to function with them and thrive with them. However, we don't need to be friends with everyone. And the most important thing is to be with someone with whom we can feel we can be ourselves. We don't try to be someone else. We don't need to pretend to be someone that we're not. So, there you go. Next post. Survivors will heal faster if we didn't live in a system, society, and culture that believes and supports the abusers more than the victims. And this is a conversation that we should have more. It is a real thing. Sadly, we are learning more about mental health and abuse and trauma, but as we are seeing now with the Epstein files, for instance, you can really see how the whole of the society has always been designed to protect abusers more than victims. And that's why it's so difficult for many of us to heal, because we have an awareness of this. And if we can't feel safe in our immediate environment and surroundings, whatever work we do about our past will not suffice. Who are you? Hello Didi, perfect timing. I just finished the last episode of something very, very triggering. I am not okay. Okay, let's talk about this if you want. How are you? How are you? I'm very well indeed. How about you? Is there anything you'd like to discuss today to get us started with the conversation flow? In the meantime, until some people ask me things, I'm going to keep commenting on my own post. Next one is still about a dystopian world, and it goes like this. We live in a dystopian world. Pretending that everything is normal and okay is a form of toxic positivity. Learning to be positive with the full acknowledgement that we do indeed live in a dystopian world, and despite it, is the best way to navigate through it. So basically what I want to do is to take everyone into consideration. If you're pretending that everything is okay because we're not affected by the state of the world, we're very privileged, and we don't realize that so many others are. And so just an awareness of this. Next one. Why does healing feel slow? Because you're not focused on healing. You're focused on arriving. So what it means is that healing is a journey, not a destination. If you want to have some concrete, specific evidence that we have here, this is going to actually slow down the process of healing, because healing happens at a multidimensional level, and it's a journey that lasts the whole lifetime. Let me see any more comments yet. Fudu, hi, hello Fudu. I'm just going to continue until I have some people interacting with me. One that I just put out this afternoon goes like this. Your boundaries upset them because they will no longer benefit from you having none. And so essentially anyone who is resisting your boundaries are resisting them because they were benefiting from your lack of them. Fudu, I keep getting setbacks like fires I need to put out of instead of living life. I always have to deal with other people's problems. Not sure. You don't have to deal with other people's problems. We believe that. A lot of us, we believe, and I certainly used to feel the same for a long time. We believe that we're in charge of other people's happiness. We're in charge of other people's well-being. We must change people. We must help them. We must fix everyone. And what we don't realize is that we're just projecting the fact that we are still dealing with our own wounds. But sometimes it's easier to address other people than self. But you don't have to. We can talk about this if you want. I know that it's not an easy conversation, but because we all want to do better. We want all people to do better. But we must really accept that the main thing we can do is to work on ourselves, and then we can give some advice, recommendations, and that's it. We're not in charge of their well-being and happiness. We can share some opinions. We can show them how we do it. We can guide them through example. But if we believe that we have to deal with everyone's problems, it's because there's a part of us that believes that we are that sort of people. It's a part of my personality. I am someone who is always looking after other people. I am someone who keeps the peace. I'm the fixer of the problems. And so maybe that could reflect some aspect of your childhood. Did you have to look after people when you were a child? Were you in charge of your parents' happiness or some of those things? Fudu, who are you? The series is called Monster, the story of Ed Gein. Yes, we've seen it. My husband is quite fascinated by serial killers. He does unspeakable things to many people, but when he gets caught and ends up in a psych ward, he learns that he has schizophrenia because of trauma. Yes. So anything that we do is always to do with some level of trauma. So indeed, if we can understand that, then we stop believing that some people are born evil. Or some people are not evil because they are better than others. And this is just not true. We are all the product of our upbringing and environment. And so every single serial killer, everyone who's in prison have some problems. No one chooses consciously, deliberately to do certain things that would lead them to end up in prison. I believe that everyone in prison has got some conditions. That's why mental health is so important. If we could have an awareness of this and teach kids at school and teach parents, keep looking at all the signs, then we would prevent serial killers. We would prevent people doing bad things to others. Because those are just the result of whatever systems we have created based on a childhood that we have never chosen. Who are you? Trauma. Yep. Who are you? He then gets medicated and helps cops catch other murderers from the psych ward. And then he does, at an old age, crazy positive character development. And the last episode is made such that you feel proud and sorry for him. Okay? Yes, I remember. He's walking through the corridor and everyone is applauding him, including all of his victims. But this is the thing. This is actually, yeah, it is very powerful. Who are you? The problem is I have been on both sides of trauma and I have high empathy and kind of deep understanding of the human soul/behavior. And I don't like that I have so much empathy. Why don't you like that you have so much empathy? If you can share with us, what is it about having empathy that is problematic for you? Empathy is a connection. That's all what it means. Now there are different types of empathy. You have cognitive empathy, when you can understand intellectually what they are going through. You have emotional empathy, when you can feel what they are feeling, but it's not the same. Right? It doesn't have to necessarily be with the cognitive one. We may feel something without knowing why. And then there's the compassionate empathy, when we understand both and we want to help others. FLK Ocean, good to see you. Thank you. Same here. Who are you? I also have empathy for my dangerous neighbor and for the crazy ex of someone that tried to attack me in my sleep, etc. I just need boundaries to protect myself. So I understand what you mean. Because of the empathy, you feel that you're opening all the doors. But it's not how you should look at it like. Empathy is just a connection. And each moment is a different moment. And each moment you have a different priority. And so in one moment, you may feel empathy for someone. The next moment, if you have to deal with them, set the boundaries. And then once the boundaries is set and you're safe, then you can have empathy for them again. It's not this or that. It's not, things are not constant. Each moment our mind has a different priority. And so having empathy is a great thing because it helps you understand people and connect with them. But it doesn't mean that you have to open all your gates waiting for them to stab you or to hurt you. Not at all. It only means that there's a time and a place for everything. And so there's a time for you to be safe, to protect your peace, to create systems that will look after your well-being first and foremost as your priority. And then there are times for you to reflect on the situation and think, I understand where they're coming from. I don't want to be mad at them because I can see where they're coming from. Being understanding of someone doesn't mean allowing them to hurt you furthermore. It's totally different. But I understand that it can be confusing at times. Does it make sense? Who are you? Who are you? I understand people so much, I can't even be mad at them. Again, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time where you need to be mad. There's a time when you need to look at them from the perspective of the person that is hurt, from the position of the child, from the position of the human being, from the position of the ego. Oh, what's wrong with him or her? And then lay it out, let go of that energy. And then the next moment, you can then contemplate that same situation from the position of the observer. I understand, it's not my fault. I let go of the anger, I can chill, right? But you may get to a level where you don't even need to be angry anymore at some point. Who are you? Or give too much to people who would never care, but that is also boundaries and I'm working on it. So what matters is not that you do things because you want something back in return. So you say, I give too much for people who would never care. Change the way you do things. Don't do things because you want something back or because you expect them to behave in a certain way. Do things because it feels like something that you're happy to give for free, to give away, to do it because it feels right to do, as opposed to they don't care, it's wasted, they don't get to reciprocate what I've done. If we do that, we're going to be disappointed because we are sending expectations, and whether things happen or not is not down to us. And so My advice would be for you to focus on doing just for the sake of doing, if you feel that it's the right thing to do. But if you don't feel that it's the right thing to do, don't do it. Listen to your body. Listen to your intuition. Do whatever feels right for you in this moment. Don't do things because you want to be a good person or because you want to be nice. Do things because it feels right for you. You feel aligned with that action and it's free and it doesn't matter whatever happens next. You do it for the doing because it makes you feel good. That's it. If you do things because you want to be a good person, or because it is the right thing to do, or because you're expecting them to behave in a certain way back at you, then you're going to be disappointed. I hope it helps. Does it make sense? Hurry up. FLK Ocean. Sometimes when you have so much empathy, people tend to use it against you. So again, no, people don't. So what they're using is not your empathy, it's your confusion. Because you believe that empathy means opening all of your gates. It is possible to set boundaries and yet have empathy. And so the most simple example that I can give you is that if someone has, let's say, a narcissistic family, and they suffer from them a lot, it is possible to have empathy for them by thinking, by doing some work and realizing that they suffer from their own things. It was never personal. And the boundaries will mean I still don't see you. It is possible to not see someone and yet forgive them. It is possible to accept the humanity of someone without allowing them to hurt us. It is possible. They're two different things altogether. But I understand that it is confusing. But the problem was never empathy. It's exactly like when people say, if you're too kind to others, they will stop respecting you. And it's not like that. Or they will take advantage of you. I'm kind to everyone as much as I can, depending on how I feel. And if someone is going to show me that they are taking advantage of me, it's very easy. Stop. F off. Get out of my life. Just like that. So easy. That's it. And right after, I am still able to be kind to everyone else. That's all there is. If I change my behavior because I'm scared of not being able to deal with that situation, now they have won over me. They have infected me with their own fear, and now I'm going to be scared of being kind. I hope it makes sense. Being kind doesn't get people to disrespect you. It only shows you their true face. And so if they disrespect you, what do? You stop seeing them. You tell them, no, it doesn't work for me. Stop doing this, otherwise we're not going to be friends anymore. That's it. It is that simple. Yeah. I hope it makes sense. We have been conditioned by a very cruel and self-righteous society to believe that it's all about strength and control and superiority, and it's just all rubbish. It's not true. We can be kind. We can be optimistic and simple, and we can also realize that when we feel that someone is going to take advantage of us, stop, get out of my life, just like that. Or I don't want to see you for the rest of the day. If you keep talking to me like that, this will happen. Does it help, FLK Ocean? Does it make sense? Tana, hello. I do not want to be rude to you, but your body language overshadows your speech content. You're being very rude. So this is narcissistic attempt. My body language is how I am. I'm very comfortable with that. I've been doing it for a long while. People know me, and I have also just who I am. I don't need even to explain just if I have it. But this is what some very naughty people on the internet do. They're trying to get you to react to them and manipulate your behavior because this is something that makes them happy. And so Tanner is not going to work with me, and it's a safe space for everyone. If I'm going to allow you some more space, but if you put any other comment that my intuition tells me is wrong, I will have to block you, okay? Because I'm creating a space to help people here, and what you're doing here is very unhelpful, right? There's nothing wrong with my body language. There's nothing wrong with anyone's body language. You're just trying to get me to doubt myself. And in the past, it would have worked, but no, not anymore. Sorry, you need to troll someone else if you feel the need to troll someone today. Okay, Tana? But if you have some problem, if you believe that you may be on the narcissistic personality disorder spectrum and you want to work on it, I'm very open to help you with that. We can talk about it if you want. Some people on the NPD spectrum realizes it, and They just don't know that they can work on that, they can change. But for some of them, it's possible to change it. So if that's the case with you, my door is still open to you, despite that little naughty attempt to destabilize me. Christina Williams, my loving son is grown up, but whenever we have family get-togethers, he tells me things that to say like, please, thank you, welcome, and excuse me. I always do this. Why does he treat me like a child? Let me read this again. My loving son is grown up, okay? But whenever we have a family get-together, he tells me things to say, like, please, thank you, welcome, and excuse me. I don't understand. Your son is telling you how to speak. Is that what you mean? He tells me things to say, like, please, thank you, welcome, and excuse me. I always do this. Why does he treat me like a child? I don't understand. Could you correct me if I'm wrong? Is your son telling you how to speak? Whatever the reason, I need to know more about you. At this point in time, I don't have enough information. Could you tell me more about your relationship with your son, please? And whether or not either of you had some individual or collective mental health history, perhaps? Who are you? I really expect something back, like I've carried people for years and then I ask for a small favor and they're like, no, I don't feel like it. And yet you're talking about it. So there's a discrepancy between what we think and what we believe. So at that level, I don't expect anything. And yet you're saying, ask for a small favor and they say, no, I don't feel like it. So you're disappointed for the fact that they're not doing it to you, right? Otherwise you wouldn't mention this. And so what it means is there's a part of you that is expecting them to behave in certain ways, right? Can you see this or not? It's not straightforward. It's not you expecting something black and white. It's just the general expectations that people should treat me the way I treat them. And it's a belief that we all have, at least at the start of our life. People should know what I know. People should understand what I understand. People should behave the way I behave. People should treat me like I treat them, otherwise there's something wrong. And it's a toxic belief because it's going to create a lot of disappointment, just like that. If I help people and then ask them to do something and they say no, I say, okay, no worries. I will not be hurt, but I will remember this. I will think, you know what? I will take this into consideration the next time I want to do something for them. But even this, as I said before, if you can somehow find a way to do things because it feels right for you to do those things, you never have to go through those situations. Sometimes some people do things that goes my way, I'm happy. Sometimes they don't, and I'm happy as well. And it's got nothing to do with what I have done before. It's a whole different thing altogether. Fudu, I agree this is very empowering. All right, thank you, Fudu. Who are you? Or people get used to my niceness and don't value it on me, and I become a doormat. So this is the thing. Because we're being nice, there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice means I'm a people pleaser. I'm going to make sure that everyone is comfortable. I'm going to make sure that I say yes to everyone. And a lot of people who are doing things out of niceness, they don't like it. It's people pleasing. It's just being nice. It's saving the appearance. Whereas being kind comes from the emotion of kindness. I'm happy to do this. I feel right. I want to. I don't care about what happens. And so there's a very simple metaphor. People in the USA say, in Los Angeles, people are nice. In New York, people are kind. And the difference is that in Los Angeles, everyone is very polite and friendly to you. But if your car breaks down, no one is there. Whereas in New York, everyone is rude and really, really in your face. However, if your car breaks down, they will help you out. And that's the difference between nice and kind. Nice is, I want to be a good person. I want to fit in that society. And that's why when you are nice, people don't value you because it doesn't come from a place of pure good intention. If you are kind, they can feel your energy, and also you are doing it for you, so you don't expect anything back in return. But most importantly, when you're doing things out of kindness, and it's a skill, it's a process, it's not something that we switch and choose just like that. But if you can be kind, learn to be kind instead of learning to be nice, then you're starting to be more authentic. You know when and where and how to be kind, and when not to. Because being kind is first and mostly to yourself. So you want to be kind to yourself first. And then, as you are kind to yourself, you can be kind to others. So what it means is prioritize yourself. Prioritize your well-being, your happiness. Say no when you feel that you have to say no, as instead of trying to be nice and say yes, even though you don't want to do that thing. That's the difference between nice and kind. Stop trying to be nice. Learn how to be kind to yourself. I matter. My needs matter. My happiness matters. I don't want to do this. No, I can be polite, say, I'm sorry, I've got other things to do. But this is how you learn how to teach yourself, how to teach your child, I matter. My love matters. My happiness matters. You're telling that to your inner child. This is how you heal yourself. This is how you learn how to love yourself. As long as you're being nice, it is people pleasing. I hope it makes sense. Does it? Who are you? Who are you? So I'm trying to tone it down. Color man, go brush your teeth. Color man, this is very naughty. I'm going to block you. I'm creating a safe space for people's mental health, so this is not helpful. Hide user on this channel. Okay, let's forget everything. I think he can still see us, but we can't see any of the messages left. So again, this is how simple and easy it is to get rid of trolls. Not only online, but also in real life. Set boundaries, right? I didn't say anything, but I think it's quite clear. I'm here in the scope of helping people. And so anyone who is not aligning with those vibes are not welcome here. Lighthouse Muse. Do you believe we are living in a simulation? It is possible. So it is absolutely possible. And Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about it quite a lot. And it is true that there's nothing that could demonstrate otherwise. And so we may be the product of a different form of intelligence, maybe AI, and we're a form of this, and we wouldn't know. And it's absolutely possible. And so the main thing about this is to find a belief that works for us. Whatever belief works for us, why not? Believing that we live in a simulation is kind of believing in a destiny that is fixed. There's nothing much we can do about it. Or maybe believing in a reality that is decided by something else, and we can still have some input in it. So a lot of religions, gods, are similar to the simulation. But the simulation would imply that God could be a kid in its bedroom, being yelled at by mum because he's been spending too much time playing video games, and we are the avatars of the video game. So it is possible. The main thing is, whatever you choose to believe, think to yourself, is that belief useful to me? Because in the end, it's just a belief. No one knows, and we don't need to know. We don't have to know. We don't want to mistake fact with belief. But here's the thing: as we choose our belief, those beliefs create the facts that create our reality. Whatever our life is about is down to what we believe is true or wrong or false or fake or right or whatever. Thank you for little hearts. FLK Ocean. It does make sense. Thank you. Who are you? Also, I'm surprised. I've watched horror since I was little, and nothing ever bothered me. I've seen almost everything there is. Only a movie ever triggered me. Forgot the title when I was 15 years or so. And now, again, for the first time in many years. Because maybe when you watch horror movies, we know that it's fantasy. We know that it's not real. Whereas with Adgain, you know that this was real, and you know that there are other people like him out there. So maybe that's why it's a bit more difficult for you to process watching those sort of things on television. Yellow Summer, thanks Didi. Thank you, Yellow Summer. Who are you? I know what you mean. I end up resenting others. Wrong. Because I sometimes forget myself and do too much for others without filling my own cup. So by the end of the day, I am depleted. AF, yes. So this is it. Fill up your own cup. And it's not just about your cup. It's really about your sense of self. It's really about changing how you see yourself. Learn how to gradually Always prioritize yourself. Create a life that is all designed around your happiness, your needs. And remind yourself that self first is not selfish. It's very, very important. We tend to struggle with that because we've been so conditioned into believing that you can't be selfish, you have to do things for others. And this is the poison for all of us. Our happiness comes first, always, before anything else. We all know that metaphor, that analogy, when a plane falls, the mother must put the mask on herself first, and then after on the baby. Because if she puts it on the baby, they're both going to die. Right? So it's the same thing. We can only give what we own. And so we must prioritize ourselves. And here's the thing, as we become someone that is more at peace, that has more mental clarity, that is happier, then that's how we impact the world positively through our own being. It's not about the things that we do, it's about how we feel and who we are. Because how we feel and who we are dictate what we do and how we react as well. Thank you for the little heart. Stella, thank you for making us understand. Thank you so much, Stella. Who are you? Exhausted and nothing for myself, and I ask myself, why no one cares about me? I should care about me. Damn it, I'm learning that. Yes, yes. Do it, now you know. Now you are reminded. You know, you knew already. Do my own stuff and I have time/energy and then take care of others. Yes. Your job is not to take care of others, unless it's your literal job. But even for that to happen optimally, you want to take care of yourself first. So yes, we agree. Tanner, message retracted. Oh yes, that was the naughty one. Stella, it's so hard not to be nice having ADHD. It's not. It's not because of the ADHD. It's because of the belief system, and it's because of the trauma. So with ADHD, when we have trauma with ADHD combined, we have created even more systems to protect ourselves from people. People pleasing is a protection mechanism. It's not the ADHD. It's everything. Nothing is ever just this or that. But some people don't have ADHD and they're struggling with that an awful lot as well. And so the reason why I'm saying this is that we don't want to believe that because I have a condition, it's hard on me. It's hard for everyone in different ways. And the main thing is for you to focus on what you can do with what you have, right? And so if you find it difficult to not be a people pleaser, we can talk about this with the consideration that you have ADHD along with it. It's about changing your belief and also addressing your trauma. If we have been, again, hurt or neglected to the extent that we've been hurt as a result of it, then we would have created all the systems like people pleasing to stay safe, to regulate another system with every day. And so it is still possible to work on those things, regardless of the ADHD. Cat and Tat. I'm coming out of a period of extreme isolation, trauma. What are your top tips for keeping myself safe in new friendships? How do I know if people are being forced to me? At first, you will not, because your nervous system is dysregulated. So it's going to be basically protecting you and be overzealous. And it's going to think, everyone is potentially dangerous. Your mind will be seeking some traces of hint that they may be trying to hurt you. This is what trauma does. It distorts our experience of reality. We become paranoid. We see the bad things. We have a negativity bias. And so the best thing to do is to practice. So it depends where you are at your stage of healing what you've done. But essentially realize that right here, right now, first you want to create a safe space. The first step of healing trauma is to have an environment where you are safe, where you are tangibly safe. Right? If you are still living in a place that is not safe, whatever work you do about your past or your triggers will not be enough. You need to be safe. You need to feel safe. So you need to create an environment, a space, choose people with who you feel safe, and then start to build on it. So let me read again. What are your top tips? So that's my top tips. Prioritize your immediate surrounding. Realistically, am I safe? And then be with people with whom you have full trust, with whom you have a history. You know that they have the best intention for you. And then as you do that, eventually, over time, your nervous system will start to chill because it will feel safe. Your nervous system is only there to react to your environment. So if it feels that you're not safe, it's going to be all over the place. And that will trigger all sort of things into the way you feel and the things you think. And so by being in a place where you are at peace, do some meditation, do some yoga, do some walk in nature, listen to music, do things that make you happy, be creative, spend time with animals, any of those things and more. Do things that make you happy, that relaxes you, and makes you feel safe. And eventually it will be easier for you to reconnect with your intuition and have less of this going on. And then when you meet people in the world, listen to your intuition, not the voice in your head. But you can only do this if you are no longer in a state of trauma. If you're still on a survival mode, it's going to be very difficult for you to differentiate the intuition from the monkey chatter. Does it help? Do you want me to talk more about this? Cats and tats? Stella, smiley face emoji. Tanner said hi, okay? The silly Willy, what have you had a hard time with? I had a hard time with the first 39 years of my life, the whole of it. It was terrible, it was dreadful, it was hell, it was the worst. That's it. So that's a lot. I can't really pinpoint one thing. I had a very, very difficult start in life. I had a very, very difficult life, the whole of it up to the age of 39. But I changed. I was lucky enough for this to happen, and I kept on changing ever since. And that's why I'm here now, to give karma a little bit of payback. But if you want, we can have more conversation. It's just that I can't think about something specific because my whole life was terrible. I was a very different person. Stella, wow, honestly, thank you so much for your explanation. Means a lot. Exactly, having past trauma and abandonment issues. Okay, so again, if you ask me more, we can talk more about anything you like to talk about. Cats and tats, you are an angel. Thank you. All right, thank you. Yes, please. Yes, please. So for me to continue, I need you to tell me things. I need you to give me to give me some questions so that it stimulates my imagination and gets me to go on some sort of flow and talk you through what I'm thinking. The silly Willy, 39 years is a long time. It's all relative. For someone who is 38, yes. For someone who is 10 years old, oh, absolutely. For someone who is 55, like me, it's okay. And when I get to 90, it's not going to be that much because there's going to be a smaller portion of my life. And so everything is relative, right? If we are saying that it's a long time or a short time, it's because we're comparing it to something else. And so there's a place and time for everything. But we want to ask ourselves, is it useful? Is it positive for me to do that thing? To compare? Maybe yes, maybe not. But yes, all is relative. In my practice as a therapist, I see people of all age. And you'd be surprised how so many people have baggage that they carry all their life. And they come to see me in their 50s, 60s. The oldest client that I had was in their 80s. And we worked and they changed. It's still possible. And it's never too late. Who are you? Thanks, Didi. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate what I said. Who are you? How old are you now, if it's okay to ask? I'm 55. I was born in 1970. And so I'm going to be 56 in April this year. Cats and tats. I'm starting fresh. Done so much trauma work. It feels like it is time to put the education into practice. It is scary. Oh, all right, okay. Yes, it is scary. but it is scary because it's part of the process. The trauma has taught you how to protect yourself. So the fear is part of the systems but you put into place. And so the work is to basically every day dip your toes into the swimming pool, check the temperature, and extend your comfort zone. Expand it. And gradually, as with everything, you realize that it's becoming easier and easier by virtue of repetition, baby steps, little victories, little progress, little wins. And eventually there will be some more obvious reflection of your progress. And so my point essentially is for you to realize that you are doing the work and it's okay. It will take time, and every baby step matters. Focus on the baby steps. Don't expect to be changed just like that tomorrow or next week. If we expect to be healed, that will actually paradoxically slow down our healing process. Because we're telling ourselves, what's wrong with me? I want to be healed. I don't like how I am. I hate that I'm still suffering from that. What's wrong with me? Now we are creating stress and tension to ourselves. We're triggering our own nervous system with the impatience. Right? Instead, we should say, it's okay. It's going to take time. I never chosen any of those things. It's not my fault. It's never anyone's fault. And I've been working on it, and I'm still working on it, and it's getting better. And it will keep going better all of my life. And whatever state I am enough. It's okay. I'm still someone that is lovable, that has got a lot of good quality, that has a lot of power. I've created a lot of achievement. I can be proud of myself. I can be proud of so many things. And so I'm going to focus on the good things. I don't need to change everything about myself. When we heal, we're not changing from the old self to the new self. We're changing some aspect of ourselves. We're always the same self. We're just expanding, we're evolving. And so accept that there's a lot of goodness in you. There's a lot of good things. You're amazing in many ways. Remind yourself of this. But there are some things that you do want to change as well, because of things that happened to you that you have never chosen. It was never your fault. Whatever you did or whatever you didn't do, it's all that you could do then. So you can't have regrets. It's not possible if you understand this. And then take it one day at a time, and your whole life is going to be a healing process. And there will come a point where you will stop calling it healing and you start calling it growth. Because healing and growth is the same thing. It's just happening from a different perspective. Healing comes from going from a place of pain to a place of non-pain. Whereas growth comes from going from a place of non-pain to, it comes from a place of believing this in the past and now accepting that pain will always happen. It's okay because I can learn and grow from pain. So now the paradigm has changed. But it's on the same continuum. Healing, growth is the same thing. I hope it makes sense. Thank you for the little heart. Stella, I always end up in controlling a relationship. I don't understand why. Because you haven't changed how you see yourself. As long as you are seeing yourself as someone who deserves the sort of people in your life, you will keep allowing them in your life. You will attract them, you will invite them even. And you don't do it consciously. It's all happening vastly at a subconscious level. But whatever you have been used to in childhood, in terms of emotional state and habit, your subconscious mind wants the same. And so it's going to attract people who reflect how the people in the past made you feel. If you grew up in a chaotic environment, you will be attracted by people who are chaotic. If you lived in an environment where people were manipulative or cruel to you, your subconscious mind will seek that. It will need that because our mind is designed for one thing, to seek the familiar. That's it. It wants the same thing. That's the program, because our brain believes that if we are alive, whatever we've been through up to this point works. So we need to repeat the same thing because it's the only thing that we know. We function on track records. And so if I have been unloved, if I was not loved, if I didn't feel seen or accepted, if I was betrayed by some people in my upbringing close to me, then as an adult, those are the people that I'm going to allow and attract because I still want to feel the same things. And the mind is so tricky, but it's going to get you excited about those people. And so some people say, why do I always attract bad boys or bad girls? Even though I know that it's always trouble. It's because your mind wants you to go in that direction. So it's going to make it exciting. That person seems emotionally unavailable. That person is already in a relationship. Now I'm excited. Whereas people who are nice, who could actually love me and give me everything that I need, they're boring. They're not exciting. This is a trick of the mind. So you want to work on yourself and address that sense of self that still believes that this is who you are and this is what you deserve. Because of course, you deserve better than that. And you can change. Thank you for the little heart. Philip, message retracted. Cats and tats. How do I know what's intuition versus trauma, brain protection? So first, you need to come out of the state of trauma. As long as you are in a state of trauma, you are in a survival mode. When you're in a survival mode, you're going to be overwhelmed and you won't be able to see anything. Once you're in a place of peace and mental clarity, then you can start to reconnect with your intuition. And your intuition is always there. Every moment of the day, it's always there. But we don't see it, we don't hear it, because we are drowned by the noise of our own mind, or belief, or inner critic, or negative thought. All of those things are taking over, so we can't hear the intuition. And so the way that I talk about it is very simple. Thank you for the little heart. We all go through situations in life where we have an inkling of intuition and we decide to go against it. And right after, we're like, why did I not listen to my intuition? I knew I should have done this, or I knew I shouldn't. And that's when you know what is intuition. That's it. It's not a dialogue, it's not words, it's not a thought. It is a sensation. It is very, very distinct. But because, again, we're not used to that and we are thinking all the time, we lose that ability. But even so, I'm sure that you can remember some moment where you have been through situations where you are thinking, I knew that I shouldn't have done that. And so those are the moments you want to catch and then remember how it felt. But as long as you're in a survival mode, it's going to be terribly difficult, if not impossible, for you to connect with your intuition. Because in that moment, you are an animal surviving on its most basic basal instinct to just stay alive. And so there's no access to intelligence or intuition because it's just really survival. Thank you for the emojis. Philip, hi Didi. I am the guy you bumped into at the gym. Yes, hello. Yes, fantastic. Initially and earlier today on the bike. Yes. Here is my question. What is the most important thing for a 20-year-old to focus on to have a fulfilling life? It depends. We're all different. It's a good thing to realize that you are 20 years old. There's one thing that I could tell you. I don't know if I told you that when we spoke at the gym the first time, but your brain continues to develop up to the age of your early 30s. So what it means is that the emotional part of your brain, the brain that processes emotions, are fully developed. But your frontal neocortex, which is the part of your brain that is to do with logic and rational intelligence, is not fully developed yet. So what it means is that you have a part of your brain that is there to regulate your emotions. And that part is not there fully yet. And so what it means is that you will be very emotional, and it's normal because your brain is not fully formed yet. And if we have trauma, we keep on being unable to regulate ourselves. So this is what happened to me, right? So it's not me being patronizing because of the age. It's just the way our brains are. And so whenever someone who is mentally healthy and didn't have any trauma, if we are going to react to something emotionally, it's healthy and normal to react. But then the next moment, that part of the brain is going to tell us, it's not such a big deal, chill. And now we're able to come back to a place of mental clarity without freaking out. But some of us, we don't have that. And so people who have trauma don't. And if you're in your early 20s, this also may be a problem. I don't know you for sure, but it's something that I'm mentioning just because you're saying that you're 20 years old. And it's something that people don't talk about enough. But that can be a problem or a positive as well, because you don't have any inhibitor. You are fully going on for things. So for the things that are problematic for you, it's negative. But for the things that are positive, it can be very good. A lot of very, very important people in history have changed the world when they were in their 20s because they didn't have anything that held them back. They went on full on. They created revolutions, they created amazing art, they created movement. and so, something to be aware of, something interesting maybe for you. Now, if you want to be more specific and tell me about a specific problem, I would love to give you something more specific. I was just replying to the idea that you are 20 years old and what are the sort of things that you would like to know about yourself in regards to that age. So I hope that it helps. And it's not the most important thing. It's just one thing that came into my mind. The most important thing for you to know depends on you. We're all different. We can't generalize. That's why if you can give me something more specific about you, I would love to give you some specific directions just for you. And thank you for coming to the live. That's very cool. Hummingbird, 39 years that you karmatized into pure heart-centered wisdom. Thank you for becoming the superpower being. Thank you so much. So to be honest with you, it's kind of you, and I know where you're coming from, and I understand what you mean. But I really believe that we are all doing what we're doing, and it's all just a happening. And I happen to be like that. And so it's not like people are not better because of that. But it's just the luck of the draw. But I appreciate the kind place it's coming from. Hummingbird. Philip, how do I deal with the worries of not doing enough? And what is the best way to get out of your comfort zone? So we have two different questions. Let's address the first one. How do I deal with the worries of not doing enough? You're always doing enough. If you think that you're not doing enough, it's because there's a voice in your head that is telling you so. So I want you to realize that that voice is not your voice. It is the voice of your parents, the voice of your teachers, the voice of some people who mattered to you when you were younger. It is their voice. You're not doing enough. You should try harder. You should work harder. You should have more wins, trophies. You should do this and that. It's not your voice. I want you to learn how to dissociate yourself from your own thoughts. I want you to realize that whatever you think is just something that you hear. You're not creating your thought. You're just hearing thought. And the thoughts that are negative about you not being enough are an old recording from the past. They're the voices of the people from the past that are still reverberating in the back of your mind, echoing. And so just ask yourself, let's address that thought. It's just a thought. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Don't believe that all of your thoughts are true, that they are a fact or they are a command. Your thoughts are not all true. They're not fact, not all of them, and they're not commands that you must obey and listen to. It's not true. We believe that because we don't know. But self-awareness starts with you being able to detach yourself from your own thought. And so think about if you're walking in the street, let's say in a place with a lot of shops, they need to play a lot of music. Let's say if you go to Camden Town, there's a lot of music going on, and each step you hear different music. It's just music, and it's the same with your thought. You're just hearing some information. You can choose to believe in some information or not. And so let's address that thought. I'm not doing enough. So I don't know the context precisely, but let's say if someone tells you you're not enough as a person, address that thought. Is it true that I'm not enough? Is it true that I'm never worthy, that I'm a loser, that I'm good for nothing? Is it true? Is it tangibly true? Can I gather fact that demonstrate that I'm always a loser? No, it's not true. I don't need to believe that. Next, ask yourself, is it helpful that I have that thought? That I entertain that thought? No. Because as long as you entertain that thought, you can feel bad about yourself. So it's going to hold you back. It's going to make you feel terrible. And then finally, is it kind? It's absolutely not kind. And so now that you have addressed this from the outside, not that you find a way to detach yourself from that thought. You can write it down on a piece of paper. Take that thought off your head, write it down. I should be doing this, and then read it. Is it true that I should be doing this? Maybe yes, maybe not. But ask yourself that question, and then you realize that more often than not, you don't have to. It's just an old habit from the past, and you're still believing those thoughts. And because of that, now you are creating problems for yourself. Does it help? Philip? What is the best way to get out of your comfort zone? So we need to talk about this in different perspective. What do you mean by this? Because sometimes comfort zone is good. There's a time and a place for everything. And so a lot of people always say, you need to come out of your comfort zone. It's bad. It depends. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it's good. It depends how you feel. It depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? So what do you mean by comfort zone? If you can explain this to me, that would be very helpful, please, Philippe. Who are you? Wow, I don't like to comment on other people's appearance normally. I thought 45 or so, you look good, man. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. It's the light. If you see me in real life, I got a lot of wrinkles and stuff. It's all saggy. But when I talk, when I'm lively, I look much younger. When I sleep and I snore, I look like a corpse. So everything is a matter of perspective and context. But thank you for the compliment. Kenzie Smith. How does one learn to value oneself? Thank you, Didi. I talk about it on one of my videos. So for those who don't know me, I put a long form video weekly on YouTube. So there's one that I did 2 months ago, and it's called Self-Love 101. And on the thumbnail, it says how to love yourself. So check it out. It's a 7 minutes video. But if you don't have time to go there, I can tell you briefly what I talk about in this video. And essentially, how do we value ourselves? It's the same question as how do we love ourselves? You love yourself by learning how to stop hating yourself. And in the very same way, you learn how to value yourself by learning how to stop devaluing yourself. So again, I was talking to Philip about that voice. I am not enough, I'm not worthy, and I am incapable. I will never be as smart or as clever, as good as my brother, or whatever. We do this ourselves. We are allowing those voices, we are listening to those voices in our head, and we are allowing for those voices to hypnotize us. We are literally self-hypnotizing every day, all the time. And so what we want to do is to change the program so that we can hypnotize us into empowerment instead of disempowerment. So how does one learn to value oneself? Tell me first, how do you devalue yourself? In which context? What are the patterns? What are the habits of thoughts? What are there some specific moment that gets you to put yourself down all the time? If you can give me that, you can use that specifically to address your problem, Kenzie. Cat and Tat. Massive eye-opener. Oh, fantastic. And I'm so thankful the universe brought me here. Fantastic. Thank you. Who are you? At Kenzie Smith. Yes, very important question. I am all ears. Okay. So I answered it. Vitalis. What to do if I have split parts and don't know how to integrate them back? So we all have many parts. We all have different understanding of this, but we all have many parts. And I talk about this quite often. We are not one mind. We are many minds. And we tend to have a problem with ourselves because we forget this. We don't know this. So we believe, what's wrong with me? And it's not what's wrong with me. Why did I do that? It's just that in that moment, one version of me took over. And the next moment, a different version of me is taking over that moment. And so when I'm reflecting back, I'm thinking, why did I say that? What's wrong with me? Why did I behave like that? Why did I think that? Why did I feel like that? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me, with you. It's just that there's a part of you in that moment that protected you with fear, with shame, with sadness, with helplessness, with hatred and anger. And the next moment, now a different version of you is now in charge of this moment. So you're reflecting back and thinking that there's something wrong with you. It's just that there was a part of you that tried to protect you in whichever way it thought was good for you. All those things that we are unhappy about ourselves are originally there to look after ourselves, to protect us. And so when you say, what do I have if I split parts? We all have split parts and don't know how to integrate them back. What do you mean? So which part are you talking about? If you can give me that, I'll have a better understanding of what you mean. You know, some people have multiple personality disorder, which is now what we call DID, dissociative identity disorder. And it's basically the same. The only difference is that the experience of it is more intense and debilitating for the quality of life. But we all have many different parts that are constantly, continuously shifting all throughout the day. And what we want to do is to be at peace with all of them and understand why they are coming up at which moment. Philip, what book would you recommend for me to read to understand myself better? It depends what is the question, because there's a lot of things that we could address. Which part of yourself don't you understand? Or more in general, what would you say, in your opinion, is a must-read book for my age 20? I don't think let me think about it. I know. There's a book that I recommend all the time, and it's not a book about psychology, it's a book about mindset. And it's called Mindset. So it's one that I recommend all the time. The title of the book is Mindset from Carol Dweck. So check it out. And it's a book that will change how you experience the world. I think the sooner we absorb and apply that the rules of that book, the better. And so that will be actually very relevant for the fact that you are 20 years old. It's a book that was originally designed for children, but it applies to all of us. It's changed my life. Philip, thank you, Didi, for your answers. Of course, but, ask me more if you want. I'm happy to delve in more depth. Disturbed Pony Girl, you have an interesting channel. Your perspective is appreciated. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Philip, what I meant by my question, how to get outside of a comfort zone, is how can I get out of my own bubble of experiences and try new things where I'm still young and able? You are doing it already. You're doing this already. You're asking me questions here. When we met in the park an hour ago, you asked me questions. When we met at the gym a few months ago, you asked me questions. You're on the journey already. You're doing it. You don't need to do anything else. You have the right attitude. Just follow how you feel. Follow the flow of each day, where it's going to take you, with whom. Listen to intuition and see what happens. You're doing it already. You have more awareness than most people in their 20s. Most people in their 20s, they don't think about that. They think about how can I be loved by people? How can I impress others? How can I be accepted by society? Those sort of things. Whereas you are already working on how can I understand myself better? How can I expand my potential? And so you're already on a good direction. You're not focusing on the outside. You're focusing on the inside. How can I grow? As opposed to how can I get and show others that I have? So you're right. My watch is telling me that it's time for me to post my third TikTok post of the day. So just bear with me, please. I'm going to do it right now. Positive masculinity. It's a post about positive masculinity. Just bear with me. I just want to make sure that it's out with no problems. Positive masculinity. Okay, it's out. Let's come back to where we were. So yes, Philip, you are doing it. You're fine. Read that book. And that book will help you open more doors. It's all about mindset, so it's precisely what you need. It's about basically realizing that everything in life is a lesson. Every moment is a lesson. So even the moment where you're thinking, oh, I should be doing this and that, you are still experiencing something. So maybe the thing that I could recommend you in regards to that is to be kinder to yourself. You don't need to do anything at all. You don't have to do anything at all. The only one thing that matters is what you feel good. So focus on feeling good. Be kind to yourself. I've done enough. I'm all right. The right information will come up at the right time. When I feel like it, I will do that thing. But you don't have to do anything at all. You are enough as you are. Do things when you feel that you are optimal, that you are ready for that thing. But don't force yourself to do anything. This goes against everything we've been taught. And this is why we all suffer, because we're being taught the wrong things. We're creating tension and stress instead of creating flow. So be kind to yourself, as in be compassionate. Give yourself some slack. Forget about those voices. We talk about cognitive diffusion, learn how to dissociate yourself from your thoughts. Address your thoughts. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If not, don't believe them. Move on. Again, the analogy here is that your head is like a radio and your thoughts are the different stations. So you have worries FM, guilt FM, and you have happy FM. Turn the dial to happy FM as opposed to negative stuff. And then you have better thoughts. And when you say, while I'm still young and able, you will always be able. And you can always be young at heart. So age doesn't really matter. And I'm not saying this because I'm much older than you. Although it is why I know this. It doesn't matter. Whatever your age are, you can stay young and you're always able to do something. Right? Now, if you want to be an Olympic athlete, that's different. When you're at your 20s, that's where you're going to be at the peak of your physical possibilities. But for the vast majority of us, it's not what we mean. There are a lot of other things that you can explore that can always expand all throughout your life without them having to be at the peak of your physical potential. Disturbed Pony Girl said hi. Philip, thank you for the book recommendation. Didi, of course. Kenzie, every day goes by and I have not changed what I'm doing and I'm struggling physically, emotionally and mentally on how to feel better by taking an action that is loving for me somehow. One thing at a time. Slow down. Focus on one thing at a time. One baby step. What is the priority? What is your path of least resistance? What is the easier thing, the most important thing, the easiest thing that you can do to address your most important thing? So find out what is your priority. Don't try to fix everything because there's too much. And that will make it impossible. Just think, you know what? My life is made of time. Which means that after a moment, there's always another moment. And then there's always another. It's endless. As long as you're alive, you have time. As long as you're alive, you have moments. And each moment brings new possibilities, new options, new opportunities, new ideas, new luck. And so take it one moment at a time. Forget about looking at the mountain of your problem. Just think about, I have time. I have moment. So right here, right now in this moment, what is the one most important thing for me to address? Is it this or that? Choose whatever feels the most pressing. The first thing that comes into your mind. What is your biggest problem? Your priority right now. Here. Now. You get it. Now, based on that, what is the one thing that you can do in that direction? One little tiny baby step. It's got to be as simple and as easy as possible. If it's difficult, if it's complicated, it's not going to happen because it's difficult and it's complicated. Make it simple and easy. Simple baby step. Even if it's simplistic, it doesn't matter. As simple as possible. And just do that thing in that moment. That's it. And the next moment, think to yourself, I've done that. The next moment, do it again. What is my priority? What can I do about this? What is the simplest thing that I can do in this moment to get closer to that thing that I want to achieve? And then again and again, baby steps. And that will not only make you feel better, because now you're no longer looking at the state of your life, as the pile of problems. You're looking at the road, at the journey, at the path, little baby steps. And so if you can make it simple and easy, eventually you'll be able to make it fun as well. You can enjoy the road, the journey. My motto is that everything in my life must be simple, easy, and fun. Otherwise, I don't want it. And in healing, it's the same thing. The fun part may not come at first. It's a journey, right? But at some point, it will in the future. Because you will enjoy your healing. You will be aware of a shift happening in your body. So yeah, does it help, Kenzie? Thank you for the little heart. Philip, thank you for all your help. Didi, I need to leave now, but I really appreciate your insight. I look forward to applying your advice and being back in the streams. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Do come back. Do subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. And all the live streams that I do are to be found the following day on my channel. So it takes about a day for YouTube to fully upload my live streams. But typically, the following day, the live stream will be there to be replayed. And so if you have asked me any questions and you want to retrieve the information, you can always replay the video from the following day. Okay, Philippe, thank you. I see you around at the gym or on your bicycle in the park sometimes. And that's for everyone else. If you see me in the park, in the street, you can always come and talk to me. I will always make sure that unless I've got an emergency, I can always give everyone 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Who are you? Random cause DID reminded me. Why do names in diagnosis change like it used to be multiple personality disorder and now it's dissociative personality disorder? It does all the time because it's evolving, because the science about psychology is very new. So it's growing and changing all the time. They're finding terms that are more appropriate. It's like bipolar disorder, which I'm diagnosed with. In the past, in my time, when I was diagnosed, it was suicidal manic depression. Now they've changed it. It's just evolution. A lot of things have changed in terms of mental health, and it's still changing all the time. And it's actually confusing because now there's a lot of people who've been around for a while, knowing the stuff that they knew in the past, that are disagreeing with the new information, with new people, because they haven't kept updated. It's like ADHD. In the past, there used to be ADD. Now there's no longer ADD. People talk about ADHD type 1, 2, or 3, and so on and so forth. We are learning so much more about the mind, and it's going exponentially. And so, yes, it's changing all the time, and it's a good thing. Who are you? I get that some terminologies deemed outdated because they may be offensive, but why change some things that already have a name? Because evolution. It's like Asperger's. Some people are now no longer wanting to be called Asperger's because of the connection with the Nazis. And that's understandable. Pumpkin Puff, hi Didi, how are you today? I'm very well indeed. How about you, Pumpkin Puff? Who are you? Oh, my metal angry cleaner is here too today. Hello, how are you? Yes, I remember the conversation last week. Angry cleaning, listening to Five Finger something death metal band. Pumpkin Puff, oh hey, who are you? I'm feeling a lot of anger towards people today, actually. But other than that, I'm good. How are you? All right. You want to talk about the anger you have about some people today, Pumpkin Puff? Cat and Tat. Seriously, thank you for the advice. Slow and small steps forward with patience. Strong advice. Thank you so much. You are doing great work. I'm glad you appreciate it. That's what I'm here for. Cobra, please may I ask a question, sir? How do I develop discipline after 2 decades mistakes, please? All right. So first, you want to be kind to yourself. You have not done any mistakes. And you don't need discipline. You need self-love. So know that this is not what you want. But basically, mistakes and discipline are words that belong to the same sort of mindset. Punishment, you must try harder, you're not enough. You've done a mistake, you're wrong, you're bad. And you must be disciplined. Otherwise, you must be punished, you must follow the line. And this is what creates the problem. Too much stress, too much pressure, too much tension, not enough love, not enough happiness, not enough joy, not enough peace. And so if you want to be productive, if you want to be focused, if you want to be creative in whatever that matters to you, you need to let go of the stress. So let go of the idea that you have made any mistakes. You don't. You are learning all the time. We can never make a mistake if we learn from whatever we have done. By learning, by taking a positive from a situation, we're turning that mistake into a lesson. So there's never any mistakes. There's only a journey of growth that lasts your whole life. And then you say, how do I develop discipline? Again, if you're happy, if you can be in a place where you love yourself and you're happy and you trust yourself, and you know that you're growing out of that love and that sense of safety, then you're going to do your stuff. You don't need discipline. Discipline is, you need to be disciplined. For some people, it may work. For people who don't have any mental conditions, who are not suffering from unhealed wounds or trauma, a little bit of discipline means having systems. But it doesn't have to be with a negative emotional connotation. That's what I'm trying to say. Generally speaking, discipline comes from a kind of stoics kind of mentality. I must try harder, I must work harder. And this is actually creating more stress and tension and problems. I want to go with our flow and allow for our natural self to flourish and in whichever way it was meant to. And then that's how we are at our most productive in regards to the things that we do, if we love doing those things. Does it help, Cobra? Do you want to tell me more about you, perhaps? What do you need to be disciplined for? And what sort of mistakes are you referring to? Kenzie, thank you. Thank you, Kenzie. Cobra said hi. Mr. OCD. Hello all. I'm here for my usual dose of medicine. Feeling great and absorbing all the wisdom. Thank you so much, Mr. OCD. Pumpkin Puff. Why do people seem so entitled, even if they are doing something bad? I don't want to think humans are dumb, but I saw someone literally throw trash out of a car window into traffic. Seems so dumb. Okay. People do things because that's what we think is normal to them in that moment. We get annoyed by them because we forget that everyone has got a different perspective, a different set of belief, a different set of priorities, a different reality. And so if you see someone throwing trash outside of a car, it's not a nice thing. So it's normal to react, say, oh, what's wrong with them? But that person, they're probably not thinking about it. Maybe they're overwhelmed by their worries, by their thoughts. Maybe they have some problems. So this is the last thing they're thinking about. They're just doing it because it's automatic, they don't know. Or maybe because they're angry, they're doing it on purpose to disrespect others. But even if they do that, there's a reason as why they're angry. Maybe they're hurt, so they're still reacting to something. Whatever we do is always the result of something else. But the only thing that we can really focus on is how we feel about others. Whatever people do is their business. What we do is our business. And so the main question here is, why am I being triggered? Why is it annoying to me? How can I change this? So I understand what you're saying, because I used to be the same. If I saw some people putting their foot on the seat in the tube or in the bus, in the train, that would really upset me. This is so disrespectful. But then, again, people have all sorts of things happening in their mind. And so the question was, why is it a problem to me? So I want to reframe that. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, they're putting their foot on the thing. Does someone need it now? No. Is it hurting anyone right around now? No. What I have to do is to, whatever, it doesn't matter. Not a big deal. And just like that, I'm feeling better. If you want to find out about the reasons, go and ask them. But then you'll be surprised. They may not realize that they're even doing this and react back at you. And so, why do people seem so entitled? It's not maybe they are entitled for some things. But in that case, it's not that they're entitled, it's just that they're not thinking about it. They don't care. You care. And it's a good thing to care. As far as as far as society is concerned. But the only way for you to find peace is to change the perspective and remind yourself, does it really matter? Is it hurting anyone? If it's really important to you, then take an action. If it's really important to you, go and talk to them. Throw it back in the car, right? And then see what happens. But if not, maybe it's easier for you to just think, you know what, it doesn't matter. Does it help, Pumpkin Puff? NYA Music said hi. Pumpkin Puff. People drive like maniacs, hit living creature, litter. I could go on forever. It's true. I'm just annoyed. People like that are ruining the earth. We all live here. Why can't people just think about others? So I want you to realize that also we change. We change. Maybe they will change. Maybe they will learn. Maybe they're not. But we're all different. You can't put everyone in the same bag. If you put everyone in the same bag, now you're creating a whole bunch of people who are bad. And in your mind, they will never change. And you must protect yourself against them. Again, this is what splitting does with BPD. So I get it. But I, for instance, I used to be a terrible person and I've changed. But most people have judged me and said to me, or thought about me, that person is bad. He will never change. And yet I did. And so think about this the next time you see people doing things. Maybe at some point they will learn. They will realize, I don't want to put trash anymore because it's not good for the planet. I don't want I want to be more mindful when I drive, that I'm not going to kill some little animals. So they may change as well. People are not good or bad. People do good or bad things. People say good or bad things. People allow good or bad things within a context, within a moment. But it doesn't mean that they are like that in regards to everything. And so I think that for you, it would be very important to remind yourself of this. We all go through our journey, we all change, and we don't want to judge others. And we want to do our best to choose a perspective that gives us peace. So listen to your body. And if your body tells you, I must do or say something, do that thing, say that thing, take that action. But if your body is telling you, you know what, it doesn't matter, then let it go. And focus your mind on something else. Think to yourself, maybe that person is not thinking about it because they have other problems. Find a way to have compassion for them. Maybe that person is driving very fast and hitting by accident some animals because they're rushing because they just found out that their son has had an accident and he's in the hospital. I don't know, something like that. So we want to make sure that we avoid those things, but sometimes life happens. And so if you can realize that not everyone is in your mental space, we're all in different mental space. And so that's why we do things or we are not aware of what we are doing at certain times. Does it help, Pumpkin Puff? Why can't people just think about others? And here's the thing. You are very good with that. However, even you are not always thinking about others. There are plenty of moments, I'm sure, where some people may think that there's something wrong about you. And I know this because you have BPD, right? I'm just saying. So, yeah. But we are not always nice. Sometimes we don't realize that we're not nice to others. And so this is why we don't want to judge. Because whatever we perceive is always the result of our perspective based on our belief and our emotional state and mood in the moment. But it doesn't reflect all that it is. It only reflects our position about that thing. That thing can be many other things. Does it help, Pumpkin Puff? Good man truth. What is the meaning of life? It is what you choose to give it. Life, the meaning of life has no inherent meaning. And this is the beauty about it. It's blank. The meaning that life has for you will depend on the meaning that you want to give it. We suffer because we believe that there is a meaning of life. There is a truth. There is a reality. And there's none. There's only your experience. And so what is the meaning of life should be replaced by what is your meaning of your life. That's much more accurate. That's much more useful. Yeah. There's no meaning of life. The meaning of life is for us to come here to experience our human experience. So this is, to me, what the meaning of life is. We're here to find out what it is to be a human being, to be ourselves, to go through our life, to have had our parents, to have had our tragedies in our lives, or whatever we may have. It's part of our story. And the meaning of life is the whole of it, is the story of it. So that's the meaning of life. But your personal meaning will be how you prefer to look at your life like. So life, as far as I'm concerned, has no intrinsic meaning. But it's a good thing because we get to give it a meaning. And that is the point of life. You make it whatever you want. Mr. OCD, I feel the same, Pumpkin, but when I look back on the things I did as youth, yes, was really bad. And if someone saw me, what must they have been thinking at the time? I didn't care, but yes, it's not nice. Yes, so this is it. It's true that it's not nice, but also we have done a lot of things, and some of us still, and we don't even realize it. I used to be terribly toxic to so many people. So yeah. Matthew, how do you overcome fear and anxiety? By understanding them. You want to understand the nature of fear and anxiety. And so fear and anxiety are two big words and they can mean many things. So if you can tell me what you mean by fear, within what context, or what you mean by anxiety, then we can talk about this. Fear originally is just a signal. It's an emotion. It's something that we are born with to get us to focus on something that is important and different. That's all there is. Fear tells us, there's something new and important. So now our whole body, our whole self, our whole attention is going to be focused on that thing. And then next we can choose anger, we can choose intelligence, we can choose all sorts of things to deal with that thing. But we suffer from fear because now we're thinking about it. The fear in itself is just an energy, a physical, emotional signal that is getting us to gather our attention on something new and important. The thought of fear is what turns it into anxiety. Sometimes anxiety can be experienced without thoughts. It can be happening just in our body as well. And so anxiety exists to protect us because there's a part of us that believes that something that happened to us in the past is still going to happen. And because we have not been given any tools to cope with the original trauma, we were going to suffer from the next one. And so the anxiety is a system that is basically keeping us in check. We're always on the edge, ready for the bad things to happen again. It's a protection mechanism. So how do we deal with fear and anxiety? It depends. It depends. If you can talk to me about this, I'm a therapist, so this is what I do. We can talk about this, we can address this, but it all depends on what you mean by fear and anxiety. Matthew. Jennifer Lupinski. Thank you for all your words. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Lifestyle Chat. Hello, Didi. How are you? I'm very well indeed. What is the connection between Asperger's and Nazis, please? Okay. So let's go on Google. Just bear with me, please. Asperger's and okay, recent historical research, notably by Edith Schaeffer and Herwig Check in 2018, has uncovered evidence that Dr. Hans Asperger, the Austrian pediatrician who first described autistic psychopathy in 1944, actively collaborated with the Nazi regime and was complicit in its eugenics and euthanasia programs. So, very dark stuff. Asperger sent children with special needs to the A.M. Spiegelgrund Clinic in Vienna. This facility was a notorious special children's ward where hundreds of children deemed unworthy of life were murdered by lethal drugs or starvation. So that's the connection. Autistic psychopath definition, Nazi alignment, targeting Jewish children. So yes, so there you go. So basically he was not a nice guy, and he's the one who coined the term. Some people don't really want to be named after after someone that was so evil. Jennifer Lupinski, you have come across my feed at the right time. Fantastic, thank you. I'm glad I have. Synchronicity is real. Pumpkin Puff, I do care. I don't know why all these things bother me so much, but it's also incredibly unsafe to start argument because someone else decided to not be considerate. Yes, protect yourself. Whenever you're going to trigger something, you may have to suffer the consequence of it. So if you feel that it's important to you, do it and see what happens. But there's an element of danger as well, especially, again, if you have BPD. You may also get into some emotional state that aggravate the situation. So if you do care, something that you can do, if you do care about the environment, do something about it. Do you do something about it? Do you put some signs? Do you go on social media? Do you talk about it? Do you write some stuff? Do you organize some march? Do you organize some petitions? This is how you do things. If something is really important to you, the best way to address this is to actively do something about it. And then once you have done that thing, you can tell yourself, I've done something about it. So now I can be at peace. If you see a problem, but you're not doing anything about it, then you can feel terrible. Oh, why is everyone doing this? You know, it's like, let's say there's a bin in the public park next to my house and there's a lot of rubbish. I may say, why is it always like that? And I used to do that. We have some recycling bins and people always put things next to it. Now, what I do, every now and then, when I have time, I put the things in the bin myself. Because it's easy for me to do that. It costs me nothing. I have time, and when I've done that, so I'm not doing it automatically. I don't work for the council. I'm not the bin man. But every now and then I'm thinking, you know what? Let's do something kind. Let's do a free altruistic gesture because it makes me feel better. And so every now and then I go there when I do my own recycling and I see some stuff. I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's put it. Bang, bish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. Bish, bash, bosh. Super easy. And now I'm thinking, okay, that's better. Try this, Pumpkin Puff, and see what happens. Jennifer Lupinski, volume is to 19W. It's too low. Is it too low? Guys, can you hear me? My mic is here. If it's too low, let me know. Because maybe I'm seeing maybe the problem is on your side. Maybe your phone or your device is not, there's something wrong with the volume. I've been doing it for a long time. However, if everyone is telling me that the volume is too low, I will do something about it. Okay. If not, then maybe something with your connection, perhaps. Jennifer? Richie, are you expecting World War II to commence soon? You mean 3, right? I'm not expecting it. It may happen, but I'm not expecting it. I believe that whatever happens, happens. And whatever happens, we will always do our best with whatever we have to deal with then. So I don't need to think about it. I don't need to worry about it. I understand that the state of the world is chaotic and it's getting worse and worse. It's very, very bad. But at the same time, there is knowing something. And there's, again, what can I do about it? So if it was really problematic for me, just like I was talking to Pumpkin Puff about recycling bins, then I would do something about it. So I do marches sometimes. I do some things that I feel are important. If I can vote, I vote. You know, those sort of things. But apart of that, there's nothing else I can do. Right? And so I'm just going to trust the universe to support us and trust myself to be able to deal with whatever life brings us one day at a time. Mr. OCD, I hear you fine, very loud, no issues. Okay, thank you. So Jennifer, it might be you, right? I think it's you. Jennifer Lupinski. I've turned up my volume max, I check my side. Okay. I don't want to shout on the mic if everyone can hear me well. Scarlett, how do I repel narcissists? But stop attracting them, first and foremost. But stop allowing them. by stop being a people pleaser, by stop being nice, by stop reacting to them, by stop being hooked by them. What narcissists love the most is to get a reaction from you, because it tells them that they have control over you. And so if there are narcissists in your life, you know, there are narcissists everywhere. The problem is not the narcissist. The problem is why you're allowing them in your life. In the past, I used to allow them in my life as well. Then I decided one day, not anymore. So now whenever I spot a narcissist, not interested. And they don't come nowhere near me because I'm not letting them. And it's just that easy. If we suffer from a narcissist, it is only because we are allowing them in our space. And so if you can't do otherwise, let's say if you're at work, what you can do, however, is to learn how to not react to them. Don't buy their BS. Don't take their word as important. Whatever they say is not true. It doesn't concern you. They're just projecting their own fears and insecurities. They're trying to manipulate you, to control you by getting you to react. So ignore whatever they say is not valid. Doesn't matter. And then eventually, when they realize that they don't have any control over you, they will find someone else to try to control. Does it help, Scarlett? Pumpkin Puff, you're right. I am a bit into the black and white aspect of the world today. Okay, I just see it so much and it enrages me, but it doesn't need to unless I can do something about it. So this is the thing, do something about it. That is precisely the one thing that will make you feel better. If you feel that the world is in a state of disarray, do something about it. But if you can't do anything about it, then tell yourself, you know what, there's nothing I can do about it. So I need to choose to focus on something that can make me feel better. You may not be able to change the world, but you can focus your mind on doing something that makes you feel better. And if you feel better about yourself, it is a positive. Because you are part of the world. So you may not change the world, but you're changing yourself. So you are changing some percentage, small percentage of the world by feeling better about yourself. And it is still something. Scarlett, what is the cause of OCD? How to overcome it easily? So easily is the word you want to get rid of. If you suffer from OCD, it's not easy. It's like, how can I cure my cancer easily? How can I, easily is what we hope for things to be, but everything is a process. So the first aspect of it is to really understand that it is a big thing to address. It affects people at many different levels. Is it because you have OCD, or you know someone who has, or maybe do you believe that you may have OCD? Can you tell me why you're asking me that question, please? OCD is a real, very, very debilitating condition. It's not, I prefer to have my socks organized in colors, or I prefer to have everything neat and tidy. This is not OCD. This is what popular culture sees OCD like, but it's not like that. OCD can be terribly traumatic and problematic and very stressful and absolutely totally debilitating. But generally speaking, if we have OCD, it's born from trauma. We have a dysregulated nervous system, and the way our brain has developed, we need to create some systems to regulate ourselves. So the compulsion, the C in OCD, is basically what we do to regulate our nervous system. The O is the obsession. So we have intrusive thought, and that makes us feel terrible. And so the compulsion exists to address or to escape the obsessive thought. Mr. OCD, Yang and O and SAS anti-stress breathing technique is one deep breath in and then breath in a bit more and then a slow breath out. I think you're talking about something that I know as the cycle saying, so it's like that. It's 2 breath, double breath, right? Is that what you're talking about, Mr. OCD? This is a breathing technique that is very powerful for some of us. I use it myself. So by doing this, we are stretching our lungs furthermore. So we are really giving a good stretch to the alveoli in our lungs. And so as we do this, we are getting rid of the CO2 that is trapped in our lungs, that is adding to our state of stress. So it's a great thing to do. If we are suffering from anxiety of any sort, something like that, and then you will feel better. You call it Yang and Yang? I never heard of this like that. Pumpkin puff. I also know that my dad constantly complains that everyone is dumb, and I don't want to be so judgmental. So this is it. You say that because your dad said that. That's it. It is that simple. You see everyone being stupid or dumb because your dad was always complaining about dumb people. So now this is the habit that you have downloaded from him. We all do that. We all behave in the ways our parents either and treated us or treated others. I used to do that all the time. I was having a chat before with someone else, and I used to be terribly judgmental. Look at them. He or she is so fat. Look at them, their hair, their clothes. I wouldn't go out like that. Why are they so stupid? Why are people so stupid? Why can't people spell English correctly? Why can't they spell theirs and theirs and theirs? What's wrong with them? And just like so many of us. And the reason I did that is because that's what I have observed from the adults, from my parents, from the teachers, from society itself. I've absorbed that as a normality, and that has become my normality. And it doesn't have to be like that. We can be kind. We say, okay, you know what? Maybe that person is clumsy. It's not a problem. Well, I don't have to be horrible to them. I used to do that to myself. Whenever I would spill something, I would be terribly unkind to myself. What the F is wrong with me? Why am I so fucking clumsy? Instead of, and then I realized I'm so mean to myself. Why? Instead of thinking, you know what, it happened. It's no problem. Let's clean it. No big deal. And so you do this because your dad was like that. Just like me, because my mum was like that. And so realize this and realize you don't have to be like that anymore. Now you can be kind to yourself. You can be kind to others too. The whole of society, everyone is like, but it's just a joke. And everyone is cruel and horrible to one another again because it's a tradition. Everyone does it, so it's normal. But it doesn't have to. Some of us are better human beings because we're kinder. You can become them. Pumpkin puff. I've been doing my homework, by the way. Fantastic. I have been keeping calm the last few days without outburst. It's just today that I'm feeling this way. Okay, progress. Thank you for the little hearts. Well done. Mr. OCD, it's hard, isn't it? We used to have a wall outside the house and people used to sit on the wall all night. We used to say, get off a wall. And they used to shout back, it's not your wall, it's the council's. Did you put some traps on the top of the wall? Carlos, Didican, what is your favorite book? I don't have one favorite book. But it's impossible. It's when people say, what is your favorite album or song? There's so many of them. And so it depends. It depends within what sort of conversation, what sort of mental space we are. The novel, the fiction that is the most impactful to me is 1984 from George Orwell. Now, non-fiction, there are plenty of them. So many, so it depends. Stuff about psychology, stuff about mindset, stuff about spirituality, there are tons of them. Yeah. So it depends on what conversation we're having. Or maybe I could say one of the books that impacted me the most many years ago was The Four Agreement. A very simple, small book. And that book changed my life because it is what I needed back then. It's a great book, but it's more the fact that I was aligned with that book. Whatever book is going to have an impact on you, not because of the book itself. It has to be a good book, but also you need to be attuned with what that book represents. So that's when the magic happens. Sometimes we read a book and nothing much happens, and we reread it 5 years, 10 years after, and we're like, oh, gosh, I never knew that was in that book, because we are now aligned to it. So yes, that was for Carlos. Pumpkin Puff. I do some positive green things for my just family, but in the big aspect of it, I do very little. You're right. I should focus more on my own impact more. Okay, so we agree. Matthew, thank you. And I have a fear of confrontation. Can't speak up when I should. Don't want to go in public. I recognize it's from past experiences, but now I'm trying to overcome it. Have you sought some professional help? A lot of people downsize their problems, and they try to oversmart them, and very often most of our problems exist at the subconscious level, emotional one. So this is the sort of things that I address with a lot of my clients. But you don't have to necessarily go to therapy for that. You can learn how to understand your own mind better. You have all of those systems because your mind still believes that you're unsafe. So it's utilizing the same systems that you had back then to keep you safe from the world. So we're talking about social anxiety, right? Scarlett, thank you, Scarlett. Synthesis, Didi, your work and mannerism are wonderful. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. Pumpkin Puff, thank you, Didi. You gave me something to think about that isn't negative, and I feel a bit calmer after speaking with you. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Pumpkin Puff. Mr. OCD, thumbs up. This symbol of education. Okay, it's yin and yang, not yang and yang. Yin is yin, yang is yang. And it's precisely the fact that they're different that together creates everything in the universe. Yes, the yin and the yang is a very important symbol that I use a lot in my own thinking process. It doesn't mean that there is black and white in the world. It means that in the black there's white, in the white there's black. And the main message about it is that nothing is this or that. Everything is part of something that incorporates everything else. It's basically getting us to break free from the black and white thinking. Not only there's black in white and white in black, but also I lost my train of thought. It will come back at some point. I had something very cool, very, very powerful to say, and it's just gone. Never mind, it will come back at some point. I was thinking, gosh, I'm really going to say something that some of you will get, and I lost it. Never mind. I'll try to remember it. Something about the yin and the yang. Synthesis. Didi, could you please share a bit of your insight if you do work with people that may match BPD symptoms? Is there some technique you recommend to people that may go through a splitting episode? Okay. I have BPD myself, and I look after a lot of people with BPD. So if you're going through a splitting episode, you need to realize that you're in a state that don't allow you to think rationally. In that moment, you're in a survival mode. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk. In that moment, you're no longer accessing this. So what you need to do is to find a way to come back to Dr. Bruce Banner. If you're in the middle of a conflict, get out. Get out of the room. Go for a walk. Change rooms. You have to move away, out of the situation. The next thing you want to do, in that moment, you can think, good people, bad people, bad people. What you want to do is to regulate your nervous system physiologically, physically. First thing that I would suggest is go for a walk and do some breathing technique. Learn about mindfulness and meditation and apply those things in those moments, but also practice them beforehand. If you have access to a cold shower, a cold swimming pool, cold tub, jump in it. If you're into yoga, do some yoga stuff. If you have a punching bag, put your boxing gloves and let go of the thing, and eventually breathe and come back to a place where you're at peace. Let go of the energy of anger. Let go of the energy of the state of survival. Do any somatic exercise that you could do. Anything that is rhythmic will help you eventually come back to a place of peace and mental clarity, as opposed to the survival state. So when you split, you do that, and eventually when you are back, only then, when you are back into a state of mental clarity, once the agitation is gone, then you can see clearly, and you don't need to split anymore. The splitting comes from your state of survival. I need to survive that thing. So on a state of survival, you need to know what is dangerous, what is safe, who is the enemy, who is the friend, who's the foe. Right around now, you can't have access to your intelligence. Let's check our track records and find out our data about that person. No, right around now, is it good or bad? Is it someone that I must defend myself against, attack, or someone that is that I'm safe with? That's it. Splitting is precisely a defense mechanism when you're in a survival mode. And so whenever you split, it's telling you, do some breathing technique to reset your nervous system until you feel better about yourself. And get out of the situation first and foremost. Does that help? Synthesis? Carlos, OMG, Don Luis, me too. I don't know what it means, Carlos. Oops, I mistyped in the message earlier. Sorry, sometimes autocorrect is against me. Synthesis, black and white together increase or enhance each other. Interdependent regarding yin and yang. Maybe helps. It's not that they enhance each other. They're there. They always were there. It's about understanding the nature of our things. It doesn't add. It is basically the breakdown of the fabric of all things. Synthesis. Thank you, Didi. Thank you for sharing. Glad you work with people like that too. They're very misunderstood and don't deserve it. Yes, I don't know who you're referring to, but no one deserves to be misunderstood. Pumpkin Puff. Nice to see that you also lose your thoughts and mid-sentence. Happens to me all the time. No idea where the thoughts goes. Yes, because sometimes, but again, because we have a trauma brain, and so our brain is constantly seeking for some sort of emotional safety, and so that's why it hasn't developed that ability to retain a flow of thought. We're easily distracted. There's something, there's a sound, something is moving behind the bush. Maybe it's a lion about to eat me. And then we forget. But the best way to remember this is to allow it to come back. I'm not doing it now because I like to go with my flow, and whatever happens, happens. It's not very important. But there are ways actually to retrieve our thought when and if it is important. Mr. OCD, your tea is getting cold. Yes, it is. It is. It always does, but it's okay. I don't mind cold tea either. Thank you for reminding me to drink my tea. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, I didn't realize that was why we lose the thoughts. That makes sense, yes. No one is stupid. For the vast majority of us, it's just that we have been traumatized, and our brain has developed a different way to deal with life. The priority of our brain is to constantly stay alert for the bad things, because we are still believing that danger is always lurking somewhere in the background. And that's why it's difficult for us to hold on to thoughts. Yeah. Pumpkin Puff, I also have tea. Okay, good on you. I'm coming to the end of the stream. There's 6 more minutes. Gosh, it's already 8:06, and so I'm going to finish at 8. If there's anyone who wants to ask me any last questions for the road before I go, please, now is the time. I will stay until 8, just because. I would like to remind you guys to check my long form video if you can. I think you will enjoy it. The last one that I put is about the psychology of pranks, and it's about how we live in a cruel culture that promotes toxic humor, and prank is one of them. Mr. OCD, it's been great. Loved every minute. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. So, yes, I still have 5 minutes, but just for anyone who's watching, I come live on YouTube every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. I post one long form video every week on YouTube and 3 shorts every day. If you want me to address any things on the long form video, do let me know. I'm happy to take any suggestions. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't yet. If you need my help as a therapist, there's a link on my bio to my website for this. And also, all of my live streams are to be found the next day on my channel if you want to retrieve some information, if you want to replay it. Mr. OCD, oh, last thing, who is the picture behind? It's my parents. It's my mom and dad when they get married, a long time before I was born. And it's my tribute to them. As with many, my life started all over the place because of them. But I've made peace, and it's my way to remind myself of my past, who I am, and the fact that I have really come to peace with them. I truly, fully love both my parents now. I'm proud of them. I accept everything. I accept that everything that we've been through was there for a reason, and I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad that we came out of it, and I'm glad that that my whole life was the way it was. And so this is what it's telling me. It's reminding me of this every day. My dad is gone now, but I think about him every day, and I think about my mom every day as well. She's still alive, and we have made peace a long time ago, and we're in a fantastic place despite everything. I genuinely absolutely love and adore my mom now, and I have no regrets. I don't want to change a single thing, because it was all part of the journey. Sometimes I still feel a bit hurt and sad, thinking, oh, why do humans have to be like that? But this is part of the experience. This is what being a human being is about. It's about exploring the full spectrum of our human limitations, hopes, dreams, expectations, despair, and all of those things. And so, yeah, all in all, it's been a good ride for me. And, hopefully it'll keep going like that. I believe that it will. I mean, it's not about the ride, it's about how you experience it. And so this is precisely what I'm demonstrating with my own life. What I know now, that because of my understanding of self, because of my understanding of the mind and how it works, I know that whatever happens in my life, I will always be able to rebound and to make it a positive eventually. Because it was never about what happened to us. It's about how we deal with those things based on what we know of ourselves. This is why self-awareness is so important. Self-awareness changes everything. And that's what I'm doing here, essentially, on my channel. Synthesis is beautiful. What a man. Okay, thank you. Mr. OCD, nice one, Didi Can. They look lovely. Pumpkin Puff, thank you for our chat today, Didi. I will keep doing my homework, and I will hopefully see you on Friday. Hope you have a lovely evening. Yes. Still 1 minute. I'm just being a bit... Gosh, those seconds feel like forever. But I have to stay up till 2000. Pumpkin Puff, just preparing. Yeah, maybe I can finish on my on my on my quote, on my mantra. Remember to be kind to others if you can, and if you can't, at least be kind to yourself. I sound like Jerry Springer, don't I? I used to have a T-shirt of him for a long while. I used to teach self-defense, so it was Jerry Springer security. So maybe somehow he influenced me. Okay, it's 8 o'clock now. Guys, thank you so much. See you next Friday if you can make it. If not, some other time. I'm here every week. Okay, guys, I love you all. You're doing great, Didi. Thank you so much. I love that you don't go before 8. Real professional. I'm doing my best. Synthesis. It's okay. Sharing silence is also great work. Yes, yes. It's a bit challenging for the ADHD mind, as you may know or not. But yes, I agree with you. Listening, thinking, reacting. I love you, even if I can't join for today. Thank you so much. I love you too. I feel the love, and I appreciate it. You can always replay this, or you can come Friday if you have some questions to ask. Okay, guys, have a fantastic day or night wherever you are in the world. I wish you all the best, and then I'll see you next time. The lemon peep heart emoji. Thank you so much. Bye bye for now.